Hello and welcome back to the Mic Check Show. Today we have a special guest all the way in Tennessee right now.
Yeah, I'm in Tennessee right now.
Tennessee, geez. We have Austin Harlow-Henry.
Garlow.
Garlow?
Gar-
Garlow. The tradition. I screw up names all the time.
all good.
All right, Austin. How are things?
Things are good, man. Things are good. Football's going good. Just traveling. We just went to a Tyler Childers concert last night, and we're in Tennessee until tomorrow. We're heading back to Ontario, so enjoying it while I'm here.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's quite a trip. So, is there actually an off season for you? Because it seems like you're always playing football.
It does. I don't think so, man. I think I get like a month off between like March and April, and then late April is when we start getting ready for the AFL. So,
Jeez, how does your body really deal with it?
I don't know, man. I've been thankful so far with no like serious injuries or anything. I've been, trying to take care of my body as much as possible. So I've been blessed so far.
Perfect. Hopefully that continues because, of course, we don't want any injuries.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's get to it. So you played lacrosse your entire life.
Yeah.
What made you fall in love with that sport? And also, what made you switch into playing football?
So I started playing lacrosse like right like where I come from, like on my reserve. Like as soon as you're walking, that you have a lacrosse stick in your hand. So I've been playing since I was about like 3-4 years old, and just growing up, like that's kind of all I knew. And then as I got older, and eventually we moved from the reserve to the city, and I had friends that played football, and I'd play like we lived in a complex, so like the kids would get together and we'd have like a little football game in the park and stuff like that. And then like I always knew my dad played football, but like it didn't really like spark my interest. Believe it or not, he bought me an Xbox, the original Xbox, and I think I had like Madden '07, and I played that, and I'm like, you know what, this game's kind of fun. And then started like paying attention to it a little bit more, and I think it was grade 6. I was finally like, I asked my parents like, can I try it? Like I was always trying different sports growing up. Like I did lacrosse and did baseball and stuff like that. And then grade 6, I was like, you know what? Like, let me try football. I'm like, I play it all the time with like my friends in the park and stuff like that. And I watch it. I play the video game. I'm like, let me try to see if like I can actually play competitively.
Okay. That's when you fell in love with actually hitting people?
Okay. Well, I was hitting people in lacrosse too, but football's just a different type of hitting.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, it's true. Quick question. When you played with your friends, did you guys play like touch or did you actually play tackle?
Oh, we were playing tackle.
There you go.
We tried to play touch, but then eventually, like, people get competitive and then you start taking people to the ground. And I grew up with older cousins. I was used to the rough housing. I was used to getting tackled, playing backyard lacrosse, getting cross checked. So I'm like, you know what? I'm like eventually, like we started playing touch, and then it just gradually went to playing tackle, and we were throwing each other on the ground. And some kids continued, and then some kids obviously weren't about that life, so they didn't last too long.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't think most kids want to get tackled without pads or anything, unless they're playing rugby.
Fair.
Speaking of rugby, did you actually play rugby anytime in your high school career?
I did. I actually played rugby in grade 9 and 13. So when I played in grade 9, I didn't really know what it was, but all my friends were playing. Like I went to a school where like rugby was, you know what I mean? So like we were good at football, but it seemed like we were known for rugby. And then
Okay.
like all my friends were playing and stuff like that. And so I was like, you know what? Let me try it. Let me see what it's all about. And at the time I was playing football, and I was going through, like I started out as a running back and then linebacker, D end, wherever they kind of needed me. Like I played some O line, and then in my grade 9 year, they had me playing O line up until like the start of the year, like I told them like I can run the ball. They're like, no, 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 like you're big. We need you on the O line. And so I was the backup
Mhm.
right guard for like 90% of my grade 9 year, and while also playing for the city. And for the city sports, I was D end and running back. And so I was kind of like
Okay.
I love running the ball. You know what I mean? Like growing up playing lacrosse. You know, lacrosse is continuously running. So I'm like I had that like experience doing that. And then they said, rugby, everyone runs the ball, everyone tackles. And so I was like, you know what? Let me try it. And I joined it a little bit later. Like I think I joined like our second tournament in the season. And then we actually went and won the provincials in Ontario for rugby that year. So
Damn.
that was a cool introduction to the sport.
Yeah. Big introduction. Um, Speaking of cities, um, was that during the summertime?
Like city sports.
Did you play city football in high school?
Yeah, yeah. So I played. I didn't. I played the grade 9 year and that was like in the fall time. But then like the year after, I started playing like junior varsity and stuff like that. And I played in 2014. I actually played for the Hamilton Hurricanes before they transitioned to the junior Ticats. So I played for the Hamilton
Oh, okay.
Hurricanes junior varsity team, and we had a good year that year. We actually went and won provincials, and we were ranked the number one team
Yeah.
in the province. So that was a cool experience. That was kind of first time I left my city to join like a different city that was like that took it just a little bit more seriously at the time. And
Yeah.
my like I had friends that their dads were the coaches, so they kind of like persuade me a little bit. And then the year after, I was supposed to play varsity for the same team, but I got a concussion. And so they're like, hey, like take the season off, like rest your brain. Like I did all the stuff. Like I went to physio. I did all the stuff that I needed to do to kind of come back from that
Yeah.
injury. And then the year after, I went back. Like all my friends went back to Brantford, and we played 1 year in 2016 for the Brantford team again, for Brantford Bisons. So played 2 years of
Okay.
summer football.
Do you remember what the name of that league was? Because I played in something similar to that, but I'm not 100% sure what it's called.
Mm. I think we were in the Ontario Football Conference, OFC.
Yeah. Did you guys play? Can't remember if they're called the Grenadiers or the Junior Gales. Do you remember that team at all?
I think I remember the Gales, but like it sounds familiar, but like I'm trying to think of like
Uh,
where they're from, but it
okay.
sounds familiar.
Yeah, because I think we played in the same league.
No, really?
Yeah, because I think there's another team called the Cumberland Panthers.
Yep, yep. I remember. I remember Cumberland. I
Okay,
remember.
yeah, we played in the same league.
Okay, nice, nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was.
what a small world.
It's crazy. Like especially like playing, in the AFL and seeing all these guys you've never met before. To find out that they also some of them come from Ontario when you played in the same kind of areas or leagues or like even playing and like hearing that these guys played for the London Beefeaters in the CJFL, and I'm like, oh, I played against the London Beefeaters in the CJ. You know what I mean? Like it's such a small world, especially like going all the way out to Alberta to find out that you guys all came from like the same background almost.
Yeah, it's pretty cool how close the football community is, even though it's like hundreds of kilometers apart. It's still
Yeah,
guys playing together or playing
yeah,
against each other.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so
Also,
speaking of high school, before, um, safe to say you're a winner because you won 2 city championships.
yeah.
Um, you played fullback and D tackle. I'm gonna switch up the question than what I wrote before. What was your favorite position out of the two?
Oh, I love fullback, man. Like fullback, I like being a fullback slash like running back. because I've played all the positions at one point in my life. Like I actually lived in Saskatchewan in my grade 8 year, and I remember I was the backup quarterback and the starting running back for that team. And then Bison, I was the backup quarterback and running back and defensive end, and just kind of like was all over the. I didn't really like. I'm a big guy. I didn't play DB or safety or anything like that, but like all the other positions, I kind of had a chance to experience. But fullback by far, that's one.
Okay. I don't know if I've really seen it, but does the Jets have a fullback? And do they make you play it?
See, I was bugging Teague all year. Let me play some fullback. They kind of have somewhat like because we run a two back and we have a fullback
Mhm.
and a running back, but they both kind of like split the carries. It's not like like what an NFL running back would be or a fullback would, like going in just to like hit the blocks and the short yardage stuff. Like it was none of that to my knowledge.
Okay.
But like we ran like a two back, but one was considered a fullback, one was considered a running back. But yeah, I was actually bugging T all year, like, I can run the ball. I'm like, just give me a touchdown. Just let me show you what I can do. And there was a couple
Oh,
opportunities, but then we were kind of hurting for O line all year. So like I just kind of stepped up, and I would, if I had to go in for an O lineman instead, like I would just go where I was needed. But I was praying every night, like, give me one run, give me one short yardage run.
yeah. It's like I'm not asking for much. Just give me one.
Yeah, just one.
Exactly. Well, hopefully this year you can actually get some carries.
Fingers crossed, because I also play in the GTIFL league. And
Yep.
me and my buddy, we actually were co-owners of a team, the Knights. And
Damn.
the best part about being a co-owner is, hey, I'm gonna run the ball. So I get my fix there, but it'd be nice to get
Yeah.
an outdoor run every once in a while.
Yeah. True. Well, who knows? So, your time with the Hamilton Hurricanes. Um, Oddly enough, you're the second guy that's been on my podcast who played for them.
Really.
Um, what can you say about your experience with them? And have you been paying attention to the team?
Mm, my experience was decent. Like we had my first year was amazing. Like I joined late, but like that was the year, we had a really, really good team. We went undefeated. We won the OFC for the CJFL, and then um lost in the semifinals to Langley. But like the years after, like it was good. Like it was good, but it was always like something was missing. There was just something that was always kind of missing. Like we were never able to have the same success as the years before, and it's hard to follow a season like you're undefeated. So your expectations are like I was undefeated my first season in the CJFL, so like my expectations were up here, and then
Oh
like
yeah,
having to fall short every year just was like really frustrating. But like we had the talent, we had the coaching staff. It was just we just couldn't get it together. You know what I mean? But it was still a really good group of guys. Like, I've had a lot of really good coaches like Jay Hayes. He was a really good coach and really knew what he was talking about. He was Hamilton Hurricanes legend and
Mhm.
coming back and being able to kind of give back to the team that he played for it was really cool to watch and be a part of too.
That's awesome. Yeah, hopefully they can succeed this season. I think they're in the semifinals now.
No, they're actually going to the finals. They beat
Oh damn.
yeah, they beat the London Beefeaters in overtime, I think. I just saw like an update on Instagram, but they just
Mm.
beat um London on a rouge in overtime to go to the finals.
Jeez, only in Canadian football you can do that.
Yeah, no kidding. Eh?
Yeah, gotta love it. Alrighty. So after your time there, you started your semi-pro career in the NFC with the Steel City Patriots, then
Mhm.
with the Hamilton Jaguars.
Yeah.
What can you say about your time in the NFC and being on two different teams?
So The thing with so we started off like the Steel City Patriots, and
Mhm.
that was kind of like my introduction to the CMFL. It was eye opening. Like I trained a lot, so like I was able to make the starting lineup my rookie year. I was able to kind of be an impact wherever I needed to be an impact, and it was cool. Like we were only practicing like twice a week, and um the only downside for like my rookie season is we didn't have a videographer and we didn't have film.
Uh,
So like I
yep.
I played the whole year. I'm like I had a decent year. I'd like to think anyways. Like I had a decent year, and at the end of it there was just nothing to show for it, and it was kind of frustrating. But like I didn't really know anything else. I was just kind of like, oh, well, we'll figure it out next year. And that team ended up folding, and then the Hamilton
Okay.
Jaguars took over with like new ownership and everything like that, new personnel, and they were the team in Hamilton from there on out, and that was okay. Like again, like we had some good coaches. I was actually supposed to I wanted to come out west that year, my
Okay.
2023 year, but we actually had a coach who played in the NFL that was helping out with our
Ooh.
D line, and so
Yep.
Nikita Whitlock. So he was a fullback D tackle in the NFL. He played for the Cowboys. He played. I think he got drafted to Cincinnati and then went to the Cowboys. No, he played for the Giants, where he like started getting like game reps and learning from him. And he went to college at Wake Forest, and he was kind of like the same build. Like he wasn't tall. I think he was like 5'10", 5'11", but he was just built. You know what I mean? And I'm not the tallest. I'm like 6 foot 6'1", and you know, they look at me as sometimes like they look at me like I'm undersized. You know what I mean? Like to
Oh,
play a D tackle position, they want 6'3" to 6'5", and I'm not that. And so being able to learn from him and like him being not the tallest but playing at the highest level of football ever to exist, you know what I mean? Like NCAA,
right.
NFL, XFL, CFL, like he has it all under his belt. So seeing all that, I was like, you know what? Like as much as I'd like to go out west, let me learn from him because I might not ever get the chance again. You know what I mean? Like that's too good of an opportunity to pass up. So I stayed, and the coaching I got from him and the connection I was able to build with him and like our other coach, he was our DC at the time, Mike Cornell. He played in the CFL. Being able to like kind of learn from them and like pick their brain and stuff like that, like it was amazing. Um, Structure of the team, it wasn't my favorite. You know what I mean? Like only practicing once a week, and it was kind of hard to do anything, right? And we didn't have the numbers at practice. We would show up, and I'd give my buddy a ride, and he was the center, I was the D tackle, and sometimes we were the only lineman at practice. And
Jeez.
it just ended up being like we were running easy ups the whole time. And I'm like, it's just as much as I like playing at home. I like playing like being able to like have my family come watch me play and stuff like that's always been really important. Like my family's always been very supportive of that. So as much as I loved having them at the games and being able to like invite my friends out and stuff like that, it was just after that year, that's when I was like, you know what? No, like I need to experience something more than just this. And I was talking to Dave Cuthbertson, and he at the time I think he played for the Jets before he went to the Gators, and he was the one
Okay.
that was able to kind of get me in contact with Damon and Teague, and like kind of able to kind of give me a shoe into the AFL. But like I have nothing but like respect for the people that kind of helped me out in the NFC. But same thing, like even with the Hamilton Jaguars, I didn't get any film all year. I probably got like maybe like 2 games, 3 games of film, and it was just to me, it was just not enough. You know what I mean? Like it just like I'm trying to go like higher, and I can't do that with like no film. And so like I there was never any like bad blood between me and the NFC or the organization, but even like how the AFL live streams all their games. Like NFC, like there's no coverage whatsoever. Like their Instagrams aren't active. Their Facebook's not really active. They don't live stream their games. They don't promote the league. So that's where I kind of thought, like, you know what, like I need something better than just this.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, so of course, definitely coming to the Jets was, well, getting film playing for the Jets was your big motivator and going there. But
Mm-hmm.
did any other team reach out to you?
Mm, like I had other teams in the NFC, and it was, I think my first year with the Jets is when they formed the Power Five in Ontario, and I had a few
Okay.
teams reach out to there. I had GTA wanted me to play for them too. Um, I think I might have gotten a message from the Gators, but I'm not 100% sure. Like just on Euro players or something like that. But
Yep.
it was like, I think Cold Lake messaged me the year before, and that's when I was like, maybe I'll stay. And then the year after, they messaged me again, and then that's when Dave was able to kind of help me out, and I was like, you know what, like they're the only team that's kind of seems like actually interested in having me on their squad, especially like having not a lot of film. You know what I mean? Like a lot of teams want to see guys with film. They want to see what guys can do before they bring them on to their squad, and they want to be able to trust that they're getting the best quality player. And me, like I'm a good teammate, but like I had no film. I had nothing to kind of show for my first 2 years in the CMFL. But Damon and T were able to kind of take that shot on me, and I'd like to think I haven't let them down. So
Yeah. Awesome. So, of course, talking about them, what has your time been like with the Jets? And what can you say about the guys just on that team?
man, my time with the Jets, I've loved it. I've loved every second of it. Um, just the team atmosphere, like a small town in the middle of nowhere in Alberta. I never knew what Cold Lake was. I never heard of it in my life. Maybe if you're around military, you know what it is. But
Oh, yeah.
for me, like I never heard of Cold Lake in my life. And then my first year going there, and kind of it was like a new experience. Like I was kind of worried because I'm like, man, like I'm so far from home. I've never been this far away from home for this long. What am I gonna do? But like right away, like everyone was so welcoming. They were so um it didn't seem like there were any egos. You know what I mean? Like everyone talked to everyone. At practice, everyone was trying to get everyone better. Like it was a really good atmosphere. Like the fans, the community. Like it was. My first year was like really good, and going from one practice a week to like Tuesday, Thursday, Friday practice, Wednesday film, game Saturday, like going from 1 day or 2 days of football a week to 5. I love football. I love the sport. Like, and going from that was just like that fix I needed. Like, it was all about football. Like, I'm here for football, and having all the guys from out of town and everything like that, they're there for football. Like, no one's there to just kind of be there. Like, obviously you have locals that play, but like a lot of the guys, like they come from BC, Saskatchewan, Ontario. Some guys come from the States. This year, like we had a guy from the UK come just because he wanted to experience Canadian football. You know what I mean? Like it was just, it was, it was, and like my first year was really good. I think this last year, even though we didn't have the same success we did in the first year, this past year was one of like best years of football I've had. Just
Okay.
like the team atmosphere was just that much better. Like there wasn't any, like there was no toxicity. There was no fighting, you know what I mean? Like everyone was there to get each other better. And like we had a little bit more guys, locals playing, like guys in the military decided to come out and check it out. And like it was just like such a good atmosphere team. Like everyone got along. This year, like we did way more team bonding things together. Everyone hung out with everyone. Like there was no cliques or anything like that. Like guys were inviting like the guys out for like hey, let's go to the beach, let's go throw a football around, let's go for a hike, you know what I mean? Like it was just like my first year was really good, but my second year was probably the best year of football I've had so far. Just having like that team camaraderie and stuff like that, it was just like a night and day difference. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, it's awesome. I love hearing stuff like that because I never know what other teams do in terms of
Yeah.
team bonding. So it's good to hear
hmm
that this past year was way better than what it was.
hmm Yeah.
Sweet.
No, it was
So,
it was just like next level. Like I've never had like a team like that. You know what I mean? Like where everyone
oh
just
yeah,
kind of like everyone was friends. Like you had like some of the most randomest people as friends. Like it just like you think about it and like if I wasn't in Alberta, I would never have met any of them. I wouldn't have hung out with them. Like maybe one day somewhere I would have passed in the street and never would have thought. You know what I mean? Like, but like we just like me and I had like a really good core group of friends too, right? Like there was like four of us, five of us, and we did everything together. Like um, it was great. Like we took trips to Saskatoon. We were going every away game. We would all carpool together and go hang out and go out together. It was just and like Tegan Maui did a really good job too. Like it was just a really good year.
that's awesome. Yeah, that's what's great about the AFL. You make friends with all these guys that you never would have really
Yeah.
met in general. So it's a great league to be a part of.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So moving on. So for of course your football career is still going on. What have the challenges you faced in your career so far, and have you been able to overcome them?
You know, I think that one of the biggest challenges was switching positions, going from high school playing fullback. I played the defensive end one year, but like high school football, like, it's not in depth. You know what I mean? Like you have one job, and if you do your job properly, you'll be good. But like going from fullback to when I got to juniors, they had fullbacks, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll play linebacker, and I looked, and I'm like, they have linebackers. Like, it was such a talented group of athletes, right? So I was like, where do I fit in? Because I'm like, I don't really want to play O line. If I can avoid it, I will. And
Yep.
I was able to, they were looking for people on the D line, and like out of high school, like I gained some weight, so I'm like, you know what? Let me go with the big boys. And so I kind of started fresh in 2018, having never really played the D tackle position. And then I had a good D line coach my first year, Jay Braith. He was really good. He knew his stuff. You know what I mean? Like he was like a very intelligent coach, right? And after my first season, like I learned as much as I could from him. But like I said, I joined late, so I didn't get the full season experience. And the year after, he wasn't with the team anymore. So it was a lot of like me kind of thinking like, okay, how do I play this position? Like I know the basics of this position, but I don't want this to be the highest level of football I play. So how can I like how can I improve? How can I get better? What drills can I do? And I never really had a D line coach after that. So it was a lot of like like myself, like I'd spend hours, watching videos on Instagram, on YouTube. I'd watch film on like NFL players, CFL players, different like D line techniques, and I'd have to practice them all myself because I never really had that practice experience. So I was like, I was on my own, like nonstop, like throughout, the off seasons and even in season. Like in junior, we were only practicing twice a week. So all those on my off days, I was still working my moves and still trying to perfect my moves and stuff like that. And it was, and especially like trying to go higher and trying to like be like make it at the time I was going for like a youth sports offer. So it
Yep.
was like, okay, I'm already undersized. You know, I have guys that are, 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", who have played this position since probably high school, like grade 9, you know what I mean? And it was like, I need to be like as good, if not better than them, if I want to continue this sport. So like me being undersized and me not having the height behind it and not necessarily like, and it sounds bad, but like I didn't understand like the importance of working out through high school. So I didn't start working out until like a year or two out of high school. So like it was a lot of like these guys are working out every day, and I'm like, you know what? Like I'm gonna work on my footwork, and I got the juniors, and I'm like, no, like I need to hit the gym. Like these guys are strong, and so like that's when I really started taking like weightlifting seriously, and trying to like figure out how to do it properly, and like so basically like starting from scratch out of high school, not knowing the position, not having any weightlifting experience, not knowing like the best footwork for that position or the handwork and stuff like that. Like it was a lot of having to really study on my own time and like really like teach myself almost, right? So I think that was one of the biggest challenges. But like I I there was times, you do want to give up. When you feel discouraged and you feel overwhelmed, you're like, you know what, maybe I'm not meant to be doing this. Maybe I should focus on work. Maybe I should try and like focus on trying to get a 9 to 5 or something like that. And then there was just always that part of me. I was like, I didn't come this far to come this far. You know what I mean? Like I can try a little bit harder, and if it works, it works. If not, at least I know. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
I just really had to buckle down and push myself to kind of continue learning and stuff like that. And I mean, it worked to an like because I got a couple of youth sports offers out of junior. I never thought I would have had them. Something like things didn't fall into place the way I wanted them to, so like I wasn't able to take them up on those offers. But
Right.
like I was able to get offers. You know what I mean? Like coming from not knowing the position, not like starting fresh from like working out and like really like staying consistent with it and like putting up better numbers and getting stronger and getting quicker and getting quick feet and stuff like that. Like coming from like next to no knowledge on that to being able to get a youth sports offer was one of like the biggest um signs that like holy shit, like this is working, this is paying off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a huge accomplishment too. Uh, Out of curiosity, what universities gave you some offers?
So I was in talks with Acadia, I was in talks with
Mm,
SMU and Carleton.
nice, good
Yeah.
old Carlton. Anyways, so that's awesome that all your hard work has been paying off. So you've been watching the right videos
Yeah, I appreciate
and
it.
putting putting in the good work. All right.
Yeah, it's been a journey, that's for sure.
No kidding. All right. So since your journey has been, I'll say all over the place, do you have any funny stories from your football career so far?
Man, okay. I was thinking about that too, and I remember I think the most embarrassing thing happened to me when I was a fullback in grade 9. Like, because it was after they transitioned me from O line to fullback. We still had the pants that you had to have the belt and the tie up to kind of keep your pants on. And I
Oh yeah.
remember I broke this really good run. I was like, breaking tackles, juking everyone, and I cut outside, and they were trying to tackle me, and I think it was 3 yard line, and I was almost in for the touchdown, and someone grabbed me from the back and tried to pull me down. He pulled my pants down instead. And so I was just in my compression shorts. And I'm like, do I try to keep going for the touchdown or do I drop and pull my pants up?
Yeah.
And I remember I thought a little too much about it. And then I was like, you know what? No, I got to go down because like there was bleachers, but there was also families that were like all lined up along the sidelines. So I'm like in
Yep.
my compression shorts in front of all these people, like, man, it was embarrassing. And then, yeah, I think that was probably the funniest thing that's ever happened to me playing football.
Oh jeez. Well, luckily it wasn't on film or anyone took a photo of it, so you're good.
Hopefully not. Hasn't come out yet, so hopefully not.
Yeah, so I think you're fine. Jeez. Uh, so right now you're currently playing for Ohio Blitz, correct?
Yep. Yeah.
Um, what's the experience like been for that, and how did you get recruited to play for this arena league?
So the experience has been incredible, to say the least. Like I've only been able to play the one game with them so far, but going forward, I should be like on like there every single game from now on. But the first game, it was crazy going from like obviously like playing in the AFL. There's some good athletes, you know what I mean? But like playing like in the GTFL, there's also good athletes, but it's you know who the good athletes are. You know what I mean? Like they're standouts. Like there's
Oh,
people that play because of the
yeah.
sport, and then there's people that play because they're trying to go somewhere. And kind of going from that to this league where it's everyone's trying to go higher. Like even it's professional, but there's still so much higher you can go in the ranks for different teams and different leagues, stuff like that. So everyone's fighting for that
Oh,
spot. Like they're already in the pros, but they're still trying to fight for to go higher up. And so just the level of competition and like the strength and the size of these guys and like the arena game just itself, it was in GTIFL in Ontario, we go 25-minute halves, right? So it's just like a continuous like 25 minutes, you get a halftime, 25 minutes, you're done. With this, it was like a full game. It was 4 15-minute quarters with stop time. And my first game, our bench was a little short numbers, so they needed me to play O line and D line.
damn.
And that was that was the most tired I've ever been. Like I was dripping in sweat. That was like the first time in my football career that I looked like I just got out of a pool. Like I was dripping in sweat. And it was crazy because like they're faster. Maybe
Yep.
it's a dogfight out there. And it was the first time I ever got hit so hard that it took me off my feet. And
Damn.
I remember we threw a pick, and so I was trying to track down the DB, but I didn't see the D line was running beside me full speed. And I was just kind of watching, trying to track it, make sure I'm not over pursuing. And I got hit. And I just remember like getting hit. And I'm like, whoa, that like I got hit. And I was like, whoa, that was a good hit. And then on my feet left the ground. I was like, oh shit. Like that was a great hit. And I got up and I was like kind of looking around. I'm like, man, that's never happened to me before. Like no one's ever hit me that hard. And
Yeah.
like like I don't know. It was the first time I ever got pancaked by two people too, and that was not fun. That was like 700 pounds falling on me. And
Oh,
it was like they're hard hitters. They're strong. They're quick. Like it's just like the league itself is just really good. Like good competition, and it only gets better. You know what I mean? Like it only
right.
goes up from there. So like that was like a really good introduction to the professional side of football, and kind of realizing like this isn't semi-pro anymore. This isn't arena ball anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like this is professional football.
Big
And
boys.
yeah, big boys that can hit hard. So
Yeah.
it was it was a good welcoming to the league.
Damn. No kidding. How do they find you?
So I have a friend that actually plays for them. And I remember the one time they were kind of like they were they were looking for people still, like they were still in the recruitment process. And my buddy was just like he had a good game with them the last time, so he had a little bit more like merit in his word, I guess. Like they understood like if he's telling them about someone, it like they're good. You know what I mean? He's not just gonna go on a whim for just anyone. Right. So he was able to kind of talk to him and be like, hey, listen, like we're looking for linemen. Because that seems to be the thing, you know what I mean? Is like a lot of teams, it's the lineman. The lineman is like the make or break of the
True.
team, but it's like after high school, after university, like no one wants, you know what I mean? Like the big guys just want to start working. And so
Oh,
finding
yeah,
like
true.
linemen and like good linemen at that is it's a challenge. And so they have a lot of good linemen already, but I think they were just looking for more depth in the chart. And my friend was just like, hey, like,
Okay.
oh, I know a guy and he's done the work. He's put in the work. So like give him a shot, right? And so they were able to they gave me that shot and they told me like, come to the game and kind of show what I can do. So shout out Brandon Bogues for helping me get that opportunity for sure. But yeah,
Yeah.
they kind of went off of his word and they were able to give me that shot, and I think I impressed them enough because they still want me back. So
There we go. And it's pretty cool too, because I noticed that you're repping the Jets helmet, so getting some repping the Jets team
yeah,
for the states.
yeah, there you go.
which,
Yeah, and
which is pretty
like
awesome.
them asking me, they, oh yeah, they asked me too. They're like, where you from? Like, where you play ball? Like, where'd you play semi pro? And being able to say like, they're like, oh, you played in Hamilton, like you played for like Burlington, you played for Hamilton. And I'm like, no, no, no. I'm like, I go out in Alberta, like AFL. I play for a league out there, and I'm like, it's a fantastic league. It's like it gives you proper film, and they're like, oh no way, like that's awesome. Like so being able to kind of spread the knowledge of the AFL, and some of those guys, if they're ever looking for semi pro to get Canadian film, or if they know anyone, like being able to kind of like plant that seed there. So to make, it's at least in their mind, right? Like kind of shouting out the AFL for being able to help me get to where I'm at now, and got to show love.
Yeah, which is awesome. And it definitely makes the AFL grow too, with having players like you succeed after the AFL.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah,
glad I can do my part.
awesome. Definitely thank you for that. And so we're coming close to the end here. Is there anyone you would like to thank for your success so far, or just a group of people? Anyone?
You know what? There's a lot of people I have to thank. I gotta shout out my family first and foremost.
Mhm.
Like the amount of like support that they've been able to kind of give me, like my mom, my dad, like my sister Chelsea, my sister Kendall, Kira, my brother Dallas. Like they've always been there. Like been my number one fans. Like been my supporters. When we actually lost in the finals to the Gators my first year, they actually all came out from Ontario to come cheer me on in the championship. So they've always been like my biggest supporters. And like all my coaches and everything, like shout out like Nikita Whitlock too, right? Like kind of giving me a lot of knowledge. He has way more knowledge like than I ever will at the position. Growing
Oh,
up playing that position, like his football knowledge is crazy, but like being able to at least like show a little bit to me in the time that we were training together and stuff like that.
yeah.
But yeah, just a lot of my coaches and everything, like my like players that kind of helped me get to where I'm at now, like AFL league MVP Tremaine Stevens, like being able to kind of like show me all the ropes in practice every week, right? Being able like we
Yep.
both moved from Ontario to Alberta, and he every practice, being very patient, showing me like different moves, showing me how to play certain scenarios and games and everything like that. I got to shout out Teague and Maui and Damon, like the whole Jets organization, honestly, for being able to kind of help me get the film and, giving me that home away from home. Cause like they all made it very, very easy to move away that far. And like, even like my billets, like Doyle and Arlene, Damon's parents, like one of the best people you'll ever meet. Like very like true,
Yeah.
like kind, caring, like so just like everyone that was able to kind of like make the experience in Alberta and like AFL be, as easy of a transition for me. And like just all my coaches growing up and everything like that. My trainers, like it's just there's a lot of people to thank. Like there's been a lot of people to help me on this road to success, but like
Thank you.
there's just too many people to all do individually. Like I gotta shout out like everyone.
Yeah, we'll be here for a while. And speaking of
Yeah.
thanks, I have to thank you, Austin, for coming on.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Mike, for having me on this.
No problem. And one last question. Um, so
So
you are native. Uh, what
yes.
community do you belong to?
So I'm actually from Six Nations Reserve in
Hmm.
Ontario, Schweigen. So That's where I'm from. We're the people are like Haudenosaunee, so the Iroquois. So I'm actually
Okay,
Cuga.
nice.
I know I just
Good
threw a
thing.
lot of
Funny
information
enough,
at you, but
yeah, okay. Funny enough, I'm actually Métis. There's like a smidge though.
oh no, okay, okay. There we
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
Couple
it's
natives
more
on
on
a
my mom's
podcast.
side. Exactly. I actually plan on doing a video on natives playing football. I just have to actually film
No
it.
way. Hey, you know
Yeah,
where to find me.
I'll get. I'm just saying, I add you on that one now.
All right. Sounds good, man.
Perfect. All right, Austin. So that's the end of the show. Everyone, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for the next Mic Check show whenever I do that one. And Mic Check, checking out.